extremely fortunate to be able to win this game. Obviously, excited that we were able to pull it out. But I have just so much respect for the Temple basketball program, for Adam Fisher. Temple is just so fortunate to have him as their head coach, because their program we know is going to be an elite program in this conference, and it is. And I just have so much respect for their team, their players, and their coaches, and we were fortunate to win tonight.
Coach, second straight game, you all kind of just found a way, even if it's not pretty. Like, what does that kind of say about your team right now?
I mean, that they're learning and understanding that defense and rebounding can give you a chance. That stuff, taking care of the ball. We had 8 turnovers. Defense and rebounding, we rebounded much better in the second half than we did in the first half. Gives you a chance. And then, again, we had 17 offensive rebounds at Wichita. We have 16 tonight. That those things give you a shot even when the ball's not going through the hoop. Again, if we just base it on the ball going through the basket, you're just leaving it to chance. And believe me, nobody, not anybody in here would love to see that ball go through the hoop more than I would. But what I do give this team a ton of credit for is they just kept playing, fighting, executing game plan, executing what we need every time out. Yeah, of course we talked about our offense, but we were getting pretty solid shots. But we just kept saying, keep doing what we got to do. And then particularly to do that down, obviously we had to make an adjustment the last 4 minutes, being down 8. They just kept doing it with a high level of intensity and force, played that way. And that ends up being a reason why we're fortunate enough to do it.
3:18 to go, it kind of felt like the air was out of the building, like you said, down 8. What was kind of the message, and how inspired were you by the guys and the way they finished?
Well, with 7:36 left, we looked at the clock, and it was a tie game, and we said, guys, this is right where we're supposed to be right now. This is conference play. Every game is like this, home, away, it doesn't matter. I believe some results today in the conference kind of depicted that. But we said, we're right where we're supposed to be. Obviously, you don't want to be down 8 with 3:18 to go, but we said, guys, 3-possession game right now. And now we got to make an adjustment on what we're doing on defense. And we went to a full court press. We went to trapping. We did some things on offense. We had to initiate quicker on offense, and we found a little rhythm. But again, it wasn't our offense that got us. The defense created the offense for us, and that's just the way. Anytime you shoot 31%, probably your defense is going to be the reason that you found a way to win.
In terms of the intangibles, how important was effort down the stretch for your team?
It was the whole game. Again, I look at our last 40 minutes at Wichita, the 2 days of preparation. And you guys know I always talk about this. Like, I look at what we did the last 2 days preparing, shoot around today. This team, we are nowhere near where, hey, at a shoot around, we've got this thing figured out. Nowhere near it. So our shoot around today was intense in terms of learning. It's particularly intense for a player that's practiced with us 2 days and played in Ben Salvungo. So he played. And so he has to take every practice, every shoot around serious. But the effort, all 45 minutes, I thought was there. And then the intensity picks up because you're looking for something to create a spark. You're looking for something to create a fire when the ball's not going through the hoop. We all know, as media, coaches, fans, when that ball's going through the hoop, there's a natural, organic spark that happens. How do you create that spark when the ball's not going through the basket? Because that's when a lot of teams can slump their shoulders and the effort's a little less and the extra plays, and maybe you don't make that third or fourth effort. You made the first or second effort. But actually quite different for our team. Our team was making third and fourth efforts in that last 4 minutes, and it started with Ezra on the ball, RJ and Brandon rebounding, Jaden Walker flying around, Bobby. So all those guys, I thought, took their effort to another level in the last 4 minutes.
Well, you mentioned some defense. They got that look at the end of regulation. I think Miller driving to the lane. I guess how pleased are you just with the execution on defense? That's a tough shot sometimes. I'm sure he's looking for contact. I mean, what did you see out of that play?
I mean, I thought Brandon made a good play. I mean, he drove the ball. Brandon contested without fouling. Again, it's really hard to just – if I knew a defense that we could say, hey, they won't get a shot off, I promise you we'd run it. We'd run every defense we could. A switching defense is probably your best bet to have a chance to keep the ball in front of you and force a contested shot. Hasir Miller is one of the best guards in this league, period. And he did it last year. He did it this year. He had another great game here tonight. So, again, I just have so much. He played 38 minutes. He scores 18 points. He's a tough guard. He shoots off the bounce. He could get to the rim. He's a strong, tough guard that, again, I just have a lot of respect for him. Brandon did his best. He got in there. He contested. He walled up, and he forced a tough shot. And, we were fortunate to come down with that, and then that sends the game into overtime.
What can you say about RJ, 43 minutes, just kind of willing you guys to victory in the game?
Effort, will, the word you just used, relentless in terms of just, again, it's not, you're not going to say he goes 7 for 24 and that's what's getting him going. He wants to shoot the ball better, but it's those late offensive rebounds. I mean, it's a block shot that might have saved the game, a block shot that ends up wedging in the backboard and the rim that is our ball on the jump ball. Those are the plays. And that is exactly what you said. That's effort, that's intensity, and that's will, and RJ has always exuded that for us.
Last time you sat here for a press conference here in this building was a 1-point loss to North Texas. How good does it feel to walk out tonight with victory on your back?
Better than it did that time.
How challenging was it in OT? I mean, you could just kind of see the guys exhausted out there. How pleased were you to kind of
Yeah, that's a great point because we were sitting there and I had Val and I had Ben Sal right there in those first two seats, and we were ready to. But that group was in a rhythm. They played the last 5 minutes and they played the whole overtime. Absolutely, you're thinking, man, can I get a guy out for a second and give him a rest? But in a possession game like that, it's so difficult, especially when they're in rhythm. But it goes back to what Steven said. I mean, until RJ had to come out because of the cramping, we had not subbed. We put Cam in, and Cam makes a big free throw. But I know a very unique thing happened under a minute left, and we're still down, and Val wants to get in, and Val and Ben are sitting there, and Val says, Coach, these guys got it. They're going to get it. We're going to get this game. And I thought that was a great growth moment for Val, and those guys want to play, but he's looking at the rhythm that those 5 guys are in out there, and Val was huge for us again tonight. 2 games in a row he did that, but just that spirit that he has is really contagious on our team, and it helped me.
How do you think he kind of handled it? He's only been here, a few days?
He handled it incredible. You talk about a guy that, look, we ain't just rolling the balls out and just go play. He's learned offense in 2 days. He's learned defensive terminology in 2 days. I mean, it's phenomenal what he's done, and I'm so proud of him and the way our guys have embraced him. Obviously, this is not the normal situation. We don't get to bring in a bunch of guys and just go have practice in the spring and get a spring game for the real thing the next year, and it doesn't count. Ben Sal now is in his freshman year, and he played tonight, and I think he's going to keep getting better, but so proud of what he did because he went in there, and believe it or not, that shot he took in the corner, that's the right shot, and he can make that shot. It's the right shot. It didn't go in. I'm sure he had a little bit of adrenaline going, but he goes in, he makes a hustle play, he goes to block a shot, he moves the basketball, he can defend. So really proud of Ben Sal and what he did tonight, and I think our team is too.
Strategy-wise, just from a coaching aspect, I was just curious about something. It's 59-57. The full court press was working for a few steals in the buckets late, but Jaden Walker fouls whoever it was. He goes to the free throw line and misses. Why do you keep the full court press going in that situation when there's under a minute and you're only down by 2?
I'm going to have to look at that, that situation because energy is a really powerful thing in basketball. Momentum and energy is a real powerful thing. And that is what got us back there clearly, down 8 to becoming a tie game. And so there's no reason that Jaden should have contact in the backcourt. We weren't trying to do that. That just might be a little fatigue. And you know what? Next time we do it, if we go on a run like that, we're going to stay up in the full court like that. That just plays happen like that with aggressiveness. But if you let a team, you're doing something that's working, and then all of a sudden you back it off, I think you let the other team feel like now they're more comfortable. They're comfortable. And obviously trying to keep them as uncomfortable as possible in the last 3.5 minutes was what we had to do, so we were going to stay with it. Thank you, guys.